Are you developing actual relationships with your marketing? That is a tough question to answer. Today, I have Dan Crandall on the show, who is somehow able to form those relationships with thousands of people, like instantly. It's amazing. If you'd like to see how he does it, stay tuned. So thank you for coming on.
Oh, I'm so honored. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're going to have fun.
Yeah,
we're going to have fun. I mean, the suit says we're going to have fun. And we are going to talk about the suit.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get too far ahead. This is your show.
So you're the marketing manager for Great Northern Mall up in North Olmsted, Ohio. It's North Olmsted, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
You're competing with online shopping and the ease of me scrolling while I'm on the couch, in the bathroom, in traffic. And you've done some unique things to kind of differentiate between online and retail. What's kind of guided you through that?
You know, Josh, I think the biggest thing is you're right. People can buy, order, do whatever, whenever, however. But the big thing is getting them off the couch and into the space. You know, brick and mortar, these businesses have been around for a long time. They're not going anywhere as much as people think stuff is not happening. But, you know, and I think there's been some recent reports that people want to get back to in-person, touch, feel, you know, the whole experience. So that's why like a center like Great Northern, you have to have that mix of good shopping, dining, and entertainment. And really that's, you know, they can come make a day out of it. They can do their apparel shopping. They come have something to eat. Who's not going to Annie Ann's, for goodness sake? You know, you're walking down and then
you smell that pretzel and you're just like,
you have to, you know? Yeah. And then on top of that, then, you know, we've had a really good year in 24. We've added some cool entertainment from Kids Empire. It's a kids activation space, play area. Phoenix Theaters, it's just been incredible since, I mean, heated reclining seats at family-friendly pricing. It's been incredible. And then something like Sweets and Geeks, they talk about pop culture overload. I mean, between the candy and Funko Pops and gaming, it's really, you know, again, you might be coming to Great Northern now to shop. You might be coming there for an entertainment or just something to eat. So, yeah.
And that makes, so from the marketing aspect of that, you have, it seems to me like a unique position with that, because you have to get people there, but you also have to get, I guess I would say you have to get businesses there. So are you marketing to both sides of that, or is it the marketing to the people to say, look, we've got people here, you need to have your business here?
So the leasing side's not me, but my thing is like drive traffic and sales. So how do we differentiate? I mean, you could go shop at a competitor or whatever,
sure,
or go eat somewhere else. But why are you picking Great Northern, you know? So it's not because Dan Crandall and no one's coming. They might see me in a flashy suit, but they're not coming there for that. So again, you know, it's our marketing. You know, we have a great team, you know, between our digital and whatnot. So again, it's always user-generated content, because if I just said, hey, Forever 21's having 20% off, you know, not many people are going to, you know, it's a good sale, but it's not a great sale. So how do I make it different? So a lot of times events and programming, you know, we brought in bingo a couple of years ago. I didn't know how big bingo really is and why it's so important, but we do food court Friday bingo twice a month, and, you know, we average 65 people every time. Yeah. Bingo. Bingo.
Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting because that then is that marketing piece.
Yeah.
Bingo's marketing.
Right. It's an event and activation, bringing people there. And then we told them, they said, hey, if you show a receipt for one of our eateries, you get an extra bingo card. I mean, we're averaging 55% of the people are showing us that receipt, because
holy cow,
I didn't know an extra bingo card meant so much, but it does. But it's fun. You know, at the end of the day, it's a fun activation, something fun to do, and they're going to Great Northern for it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I mean, you're getting the people in there then.
Right.
And it's interesting to me, and I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. The approach to marketing in this piece is bingo. It's creative. It's out there. It's different. It's not just an Instagram post with, and I mean, neither one of us, I think, if we do duck face on Instagram, I don't think that's going to bring a lot of people in. So bingo as the marketing tool.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, I'll be honest. So one thing that I like to do is look at my competitors and look what other people are doing.
Sure.
Pacific Retail Capital Partners, they have 20 properties across the country. So we all share ideas and what are they doing? Maybe it's working in one market, maybe not another market. So I look at what someone's doing, I shake it and like, all right, how do I make that fit for us? Not every event or program is going to work, but some are going to stick and some are going to make better and different. And, that's kind of like, I don't want to say the secret sauce, but, we're just reinventing someone else's idea.
So there's a collaborative nature about that then.
Exactly.
And it's the other thing that I find interesting is you said, okay, so it doesn't necessarily need to be your idea to work.
No.
It's funny because I feel like a lot of people have that need with marketing. Like, I have to find the latest and greatest and freshest and all this other stuff. You're marketing to your subset of people.
Yeah.
They don't know what's happening in Chicago.
Right.
They could care less. Unless they were there last week, they probably didn't experience bingo in Chicago or whatever other city.
Yeah.
For you to use that, I think that's brilliant because now you don't need it. Like I said, too many people get the flashy thing. What's new and flashy rather than just, hey, here's something that's proven that works. Let's adapt this for what we do.
Well, I think knowing your demographics and who your shopper is or your guest. I mean, I'm not going to have some elaborate wine event at Great Northern because it may not work.
It's not the people.
Yeah. But, again, we do a Santa parade to kick off the holidays, and it's so cute and fun. I think you've been to it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, filming that I love doing that because there's a marching band involved. Anytime you stick a marching band in a mall, it's going to be a good time.
It's loud. Let's be honest. But yeah,
it's loud.
You're right. But that's what works for us, And again, it's knowing who we are, what we are. And I think that's some of our success also.
That's amazing. You've mentioned a little bit here the need to connect with people beyond just, hey, it's a sale at one store that's 20% off.
Right.
That may not be enough to get people there.
Yeah.
When you're connecting, I've noticed you do things as a community thing. What inspired the community hub side of that?
That's really part of the culture that Pacific Retail Capital Partners has instilled in us. I mean, again, we want to connect with your Great Northern Mall is a hub of North Olmsted, you know? So again, how do we bring people in? How do we get them to come back? And it's having that right mix. I mean, again, that shop, dine, play, people live nearby. So it's really, again, connecting and, working within the city and with the city because, we're a big asset to them. We have multiple, obviously, it's got to be close to about 1,000 people work at Great Northern Mall between all the tenants and whatnot.
Wow.
And tax revenue. So it's huge. I mean, it's really
a big deal.
It's a big deal. It is, honestly.
That's awesome.
And I think when people kind of look at it that way, they're like, wow, I don't always put that into perspective. They think as just the mall, but when you break it down to the individual tenants and what they bring and what they do, it's a lot, and there's, even when a new tenant comes in, we ask them how many people they plan on employing. It's like when you start hearing the numbers, it's like, wow, that's
carry the one.
Yeah, exactly. So again, and a lot, it's personal. I mean, they're bringing in jobs and it's people. Yeah. So
it's interesting because anytime doing some of the photo and video stuff that we do with you guys, walking around some of the back corridors there, it's not a mall, it's a city.
Yeah.
It really is. There's a whole city there. You don't see, just like the city right outside the studio here, you don't see the lines and the pipes and the wires and everything that make it work. But when you go in some of the back corridors in the mall, you're like, oh, this isn't just a brick.
Right.
There's a lot to
It's
this.
like a city within a city, and again, some people are like, oh, you have tenants that are competitors. It's like, no, we all need each other, because it's not necessarily competition, but it's driving traffic. And hopefully if someone's there and they see this retailer, I can go there or I can go to grab a quick snack, whatever.
Yep. It's all in one spot.
Yep.
It's all in one spot. Let's talk about the suit.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
You didn't know. Weird.
I want to throw my hat on, but I didn't know if I could do it with this. I'll throw it at the end. How about that?
Yeah, we'll stick around for the end to see the hat for sure.
Yeah.
You definitely find a way. The suit, I know, bridges the gap between you and just the everyday Joe that's at the mall, or Jane, or the kids that are at the mall. It bridges that gap beautifully. You're not some random stuffy guy walking around in a hurry. You're having fun.
Yeah.
How did that start?
So, prior to my current job where I was at before, it kind of started there. We was building a brand, but I didn't know that's what was happening. If I'm going to be at work, I might as well have some fun, So again, it's some people are like, how do you wear that in public? And
no, wait, is that your wife that says that?
Well, 2 years ago, it's funny. My daughter Kennedy was coming to the mall for something, and she goes, how will I find you? I said, I'm like Deion Sanders. I ain't hard to find. You'll see me. And sure enough, within a second, there he is, So, but again, I try to have fun. It's the holidays, and
sure.
Josh, the amount of people that give a high five or like, hey, nice suit, or like, I don't do it for that, but I do it for the smile,
Sure.
And people just feel good. It's connected. I think you came out last year and we had some people read, was it twice the night before Christmas? Yep. And people were like honored that it's all part of it, and we had the senior center out there.
Yep.
Again, it's connections and having fun. It's the holidays. The other day I dressed up as a different character, Buddy the Elf, and
I saw that. We're going to have to put that photo in here because yes.
And a few people are like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Wrong with me? Like, again, just having fun, man. Like that's what you do."
What's the most fun part of marketing for you? Besides the paycheck.
I don't even know I get paid half the time, because for me, if I'm not having fun,
why are you doing it?
Yeah, why are you doing it? So it's really, I just want to connect with people, have some fun, and I tell this all the time to the tenants. If there's none of them, there's none of us. So. Some of them are corporate companies.
Sure.
And some are local mom and pop shops that are starting out brick and mortar, want to try it. And I love hearing that they're doing this and this is what they believe in, and how can I help them achieve their goals, and with, some marketing and get them some traffic and sales. So, yeah.
One that comes to mind right off the bat is Fortune's Cookies.
Yeah.
Anytime I am there to take photos or video, they get some of my money and I get some of those delicious cookies because they are good. Cookies are kind of a weak spot for me.
Listen, me and Santa, we're there all the time.
Santa's doing it for prep though.
Right.
That's you're doing it for fuel, but we're going to get into that in a minute.
Perfect.
You've also kind of said that there's no idea that's a bad idea.
No.
How do you foster that creativity? Because I know there's some marketing ideas that come across where you're like, okay, that's not great. But how do you work with that?
So I've had some general managers who I've pitched an idea and they're like, no. And then I'm like, well, I believe in it, so let me stew on that. And then I might come back and how if I tweak it like this. And then one of my previous GMs said that she's never, once she said no, that was it. And she's like, you've always found ways to get to the yes. And I think that's something that's important. Like if you believe in it and want to try it, how do you get to yes? And again, that's really a Pacific Retail, something they believe in too. I mean, how do you get to yes? How do you, if you're passionate about it and want to do it? So to my point, like to them, it was a bad idea, but I believed in it. So how do I come to the happy medium to understand why they thought it was a no, but then how do I make it,
how do I turn that into how do we tweak this so it fits?
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to put a
round peg, square hole, square hole, square. Yeah. Right.
But let's tweak it to make it fit, and I believe in that, I mean, and again, no idea is a bad idea because it might be off the wall, but where are you going with that, and that's where you do the brainstorming and, if you got to bring out the whiteboard and okay, that's something, but then it makes you think about other things. And that's what I'm saying. Like for some reason it popped into someone's head or my head, and
Sure.
it's like, all right, let's talk this through. There's probably something there. Where's the stickiness in it?
So, and I like that, thinking about that, because to me, you may not use that original idea, but that idea may have iterated into something 10 ideas later that is related.
Yeah.
You may not use that exact idea, but there's some form of it that it may start out as this ugly little car, and by the time you actually put it into practice, okay, it's actually got a hood and a roof and some windows and probably 4 tires.
Yeah.
Whereas the initial idea may have started out with 3 wheels and a steering wheel.
Josh, I'm sure you're the same way. Like if you kind of get that thing brewing, it might hit you again later in the afternoon or in the shower the next day or something.
Yep.
Like, okay, there's something to this. Why am I not connecting the dots or whatever? So, and again, you just keep playing with it and run it past some people, and
it turns into something that works.
Yeah,
that makes perfect sense.
I'm sure you've had many of those ideas and thoughts.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, where you're like, hey, this seems, let's try that. No, that's not. But it turns into something, and it's that foundational idea that, okay, it doesn't look the same. It didn't come out the other end the same. But boy, I never would have had this great idea had I not started with that foundational piece.
Your studio here, like you had a vision, and whether it was the right one or the wrong one at the time, or maybe it morphed into something different, but look what you have now.
It's funny you say that, because this started looking very different. And then when we started to map things out and I started to lay things out, it's like, okay, this turned out very different than I initially thought it was going to be. So 100%.
But you love it.
Oh, I absolutely do.
Yeah.
I get to spend a good chunk of my time in a padded room.
I'm glad to know that's not a white jacket over there.
No, it's not. It's not a straight jacket. No. I'm going to get into a personal thing here for you.
Yeah.
You run.
Yeah.
Far.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump far. That is the term that I'm going to use.
I'm tired.
Yeah, exactly. Why? I mean, I don't typically see people chasing you. You're a nice guy. No one's like threatening you.
Yeah.
Why are you running that far?
Well, one of my earlier jobs, I worked for Hermes Sports and Events and produced races.
Oh, sure.
So, so I always saw, like, I actually got an event management. My goal was to work for pro sports. Sorry, this might be a little long-winded. So
we're good.
Cut what
Roll
you need
with
to. So, but then I worked for event management companies, put on triathlons and marathons and 5K races. And I'm like, I loved watching the Weekend Warrior. So the one year, I think it was 2004, I broke my wrist. And I was like, well, I can't work out. I might as well start running. I go to all these races. Let's see what happens. So I ran a half marathon that year. I was like, that was pretty cool, So I ran for years, here and there.
Most people don't run 13 miles and say, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I get it. So COVID happened, and, a friend of mine's like, you got to do trail run. I'm like, I've had 5 knee surgeries. I'm not doing this. He's like, just come on out. So I did. So a little sidebar, May 12th of 2020, I've run every day at least 4 miles. So there's kind of an issue with me. Like if I don't run, it builds up, and then if it's like 9 o'clock at night, I got to go run, or 11 o'clock. So it's kind of an issue. But then anyway, so I started trail running. Mike Sofka, if you're out there, I'm mad at you, but I'm not. And if you get to trail running, like it's this whole different experience. Like you're enjoying nature. Your time doesn't mean anything. You're just out there. So I've kind of got in that, and then so I did the Goggins Challenge, which was 4 miles every 4 hours until you run 12 times for 48 miles.
Why?
Because Mike introduced me to David Goggins too. So then once you just do these things. So that was my first thing, my first like ultra, and then we were going to run the Burning River 100 in 23. He ended up shattering his knee and couldn't do it. So I just trained on as if I didn't know what I was doing. I'll be honest. All my friends thought like,
you just started running.
Yeah. They're like, you really got to take your nutrition better. And I didn't, hydration. Sure. And, but you're out there on a Saturday running 25 miles, Sunday, the next is 25 or 30 miles. And, anyone can do it. I know it sounds cliche, but really, if you put the time and training into it, it becomes a big mental thing. So Burning River 2023, it's a 100-miler. My dad passed away 2 weeks before. I didn't know if I was going to do it or not, but kind of believed in myself and put too much time and effort into it. And you have 30 hours to complete it, or it doesn't like it didn't happen. And like I said, I haven't been really back down here since I ran this past year, but I finished in 29 hours and 53 minutes and 22 seconds, 6.5 minutes to spare. And it was just the most emotional thing that I've ever done in my life. And just, being outside for 30 hours is just...
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Just staying awake for 30 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Let alone running.
I don't know if I was awake the whole time or not. But, yeah. So, but again, you talk about just being so proud and just so honored to be a part of that. And my friends that were there and cheering me on, like, it's like I still get chills about it. I got a tattoo about it just because I wanted to never forget that day again.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
you can do it.
It's funny. I somewhat get it. From a weightlifting side.
Yeah.
When a couple of weeks ago, I put up 275 pounds on the bench. Thank you.
Nice.
It is that feeling of I have put in hard work day after day after day after day. If we didn't put in that hard work, it wouldn't have been worth it.
Right.
If you could just go out and run 100 miles tomorrow, is it really worth it?
Yeah.
The fact that you have trained for a couple of years for that, that's what makes that so worth it. Now, with that, I'm going to tie this back in.
Okay.
I know you've drawn inspiration from David Goggins.
Yeah.
You've mentioned Jesse Itzler. Yep.
Yeah.
That idea of pushing limits. How is pushing the limits, and how has that like mental fortitude tied into your marketing?
Ooh. I didn't get that question ahead of time.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like as your career goes on, you evolve different ways.
Sure.
Obviously, trail run's something new to me. This relationship that Jesse Itzler talks about, his relationship with time, and I've never looked at like time like that. Just to kind of give you a quick example. Do you follow him at all?
No, not. I mean, I've seen some of his stuff, but not much.
But one of his things is he's like, my parents, I see them 2 times a year. Okay. And he goes, if I see him for 5 more years, that's only 10 more times.
Right.
And it's like, wow, like when you think about it in that way of a relationship, so how do I make today? How do I get more out of today? Or his big thing was, if I go see my parents twice this year, how do I enjoy that time more? Do I spend an extra day with them? When I'm with them, put my phone down and stuff like that, and it really just started again as they age a little, you know, but how
We're
do
getting older?
Yeah, we are. But, it's all these relationships, and kind of go back to work, like what can I get out of today that I should have got out of today? Or, let me put my foot forward. And I'm not saying
best
it right.
foot forward.
There.
Yes. I knew where you were going.
Yeah.
I knew where you were going.
ChatGPT would have been all over it. But again, like, how do I make today's experience better, and right now I'm in the middle of the holidays. So it's, whether it's dressing up, putting a smile on someone's face, making sure, Santa experience is incredible. I mean, we talked earlier about something else. We offer, Sensory Santa, and it's a, before the mall opens, it's a quiet experience for families to kind of get one-on-one with Santa that they wouldn't because of noise or lights and stuff like that. And Josh, you talk about, it's so appreciated by the parents, but it's so moving for me to be a part of that. And they're so thankful. And I'm like, I mean, you talk about, full circle with the holidays for me, like that's just so incredible I see a snippet of these families' lifestyle and their joy to be with Santa, it's just,
it's huge.
It is.
Yeah. It's that perspective again too of the marketing in this can be powerful because without that, these families don't find out about that.
Right.
And they can't have that experience.
Yeah.
To me, that it's the fact that it can make that difference in people's daily lives.
Right.
And like you said, they wouldn't have that opportunity otherwise.
Yeah. And for me, it's, I can get a call up in the holidays. I'm working a lot. I got this, I'm working Saturday, Sunday, But I mean, like, then you have stuff like that. And then you have like, again, little Sarah wave because I'm wearing some outfit or a big stinking hat, you know, and or like a guy the other day is like, dude, I need your hat. How much? And I'm like, you know what? It's from my parents. I can't sell it, but you know, I appreciate it. You know, again, those are magic moments for me, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's huge. How do you see, it's been interesting, especially since COVID and stuff like that, malls and that have changed.
Yeah.
How do you see things evolving for the future? I've seen some of the evolution over the past couple of years that we've worked together. What do you see evolving to change with stuff like that, and how? And then I'll have a follow up actually with that.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, the one thing you hear a lot is shop, dine, play. You know, you got to have the right tenant mix. You got to offer something. How do you make it something for people to go to for different? If you ever bring a family of 4 or whatever, you know, how does little Johnny be happy there? Well, you have Auntie Anne's and an entertainment opportunity with Kids Empire. You know, mom and dad are happy because they can shop or whatever. Then they can go to Phoenix Theaters. And, you know, it's that whole tenant mix is so important. From our leasing team, it's to find, you know, how do we have good neighbors for each tenant, you know, and then activate the different wings of the mall differently. And that's really kind of the big one. And again, we're seeing trends that people want to get back to malls. They want to be back inside. They want to be, you know, that touch feel. And to be honest with you, there's some brands right now that they're charging restocking fees if you have returns or online. And you should probably go to the mall and try it on to see if it fits. And then if it does, you're good. You don't have to return it, you know? So that's a different change. I mean, things evolve on our side, but then with the brands themselves too.
How do you see marketing for that change in the future? Obviously, a lot of it's still going to be digital, but how do you market that? Come on in, feel these pants to realize that they aren't paper thin before you try them on, or realize that, I mean, I've ordered shirts online. I know I'm trying to stay an inch or two out of kicking distance. I've ordered shirts online and I got them and I'm like, wow, this fits a 5-year-old. So I get that. So, I mean, how do you market to that to say, come on in because here's the advantages?
Yeah. I mean, it's partly we need our tenants to help market that stuff too, you know?
Sure.
So, but for us, it's that whole, you know, we're bringing in cool activations and fun and activities. So, again, there's some of these things I can put out there, but it'll get radio silence. So we got to show the fun and whatnot. So, you know.
Bingo is not one of those things that gets radio silence.
No, yeah.
No.
So.
Dan, thank you for coming on. Put the hat on.
Oh, so thank you.
You can pull the headphones off and put the hat on because people do need to see the hat. Because this is, and I believe this is how you get. That.
What do you think?
It fits on that camera. It does not fit on that camera. Right. Yeah. Look at that good-looking guy there. Thank you.
This was so awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.
And if you have to shop or dine, stop out to Great Northern.
I think we will do that. For all of you out there, to me, there's a couple of pieces with this, is that it's, first off, the no idea is a bad idea thing. I absolutely love. You may not use that exact idea, but you're going to use some iteration of it. To me, the other piece with that is finding other ideas from other people is another huge thing. Before today, I kind of knew Dan was an idea guy. I didn't know how much of an idea guy Dan was, and it made it a lot of fun. That all being said, do me a favor, make sure you follow us, the likes, the shares, the subscribes, all that other stuff. Take care of yourself, and if you can, take care of someone else too. I will see you very soon.
How many times have you sat here and done arm wrestling?
None.
That's crap.
None. We going?
Yeah. All right. How much did you lift today? Oh, man.
I didn't lift today.
Yeah, this is going to go pretty quick. So, ready?
Yep.
Go. Holy crap. This guy's strong.
Let me know.
Go ahead. I gave it everything.
Is that?
Yeah. That's my guy.